one last question actually on the metric side. So I like the gross margin breakdown. The other thing us, and I'm sure a lot of agencies think about, is basically how much cash to stockpile for a rainy day. Like what percentage should you actually have there? And I mean, with how interest rates have been, at least you can get a good return by storing maybe a little bit more away. But curious how you think through that. Like, is there a minimum or some ratio?
Yeah, the general rule of thumb is, and this is not like my material. This is based on a lot of the financial firms that we work with that do a lot of CFO advisory. So the general rule of thumb here is you want to have 2 full payrolls in an operating account at all times. And then you want to have a cash reserve account. And then you want to have a tax savings account. So of course, tax savings, that's self-explanatory. Try to figure out roughly what you're going to need to pay in taxes and make sure you set that aside. Payrolls, we've covered that. And then the cash reserve is what you're asking about here specifically. Generally speaking, that's going to be anywhere from 3 to 9 months of operating expenses, with the majority of firms ending up on the lower end of that scale. Let's call it 3 to 5 months of operating income. And the way that you determine that is by basically looking at a lot of the same risk factors that an acquirer might look at if they were going to buy your business. So how much of your revenue is project-based versus recurring? What is your outlook on the economy looking like? How predictable is your sales process and pipeline? How dependent is it on, maybe like a single person in the business, like a founder? It might be looking at what kind of big investments or future investments do you have coming up? How much do you expect to grow? Are you going to have to like buy a partner out soon, or your lease is coming due, or, so you have to basically look ahead and assess like what is the durability and risk of our revenue and our income, and what is our outlook in terms of big cash investments that we're going to have to make in the business. And based on that, that'll help you determine if you should be on the lower or higher end of that cash reserve target, with the baseline generally being at about 3 months.